I'd like now to introduce a special guest, Reggie Bicha, who will offer his thoughts on early education in Colorado. Our first years last forever. Reggie is Executive Director of the Colorado Department of Human Services, where he has led major advancements in the delivery of child welfare, established a statewide mental health crisis response system, retooled juvenile justice using trauma-informed approaches, and used a two-generation approach to fight poverty, focusing on parents and children simultaneously to lift families out of poverty. The Casey Family Programs gave Reggie its Excellence for Children Award, and the Aspen Institute named him an inaugural Ascend Fellow. Reggie and his wife Becky have served as foster parents and live in Denver with their 3 children. Welcome, Reggie Bicha.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much. I am thrilled to be here with all of you this afternoon. Dr. McAfee, thank you. Did I say that right? McAfee, you say it your way, I'll say it mine, brother. It's all good. He had some wise words for us earlier today, and one of them was a message about being uncomfortable. And all I could think about during the whole time I was sitting here was how uncomfortable I was feeling. Because it was such a privilege to have the Aspen Community Foundation ask me to join you and to speak to you this afternoon. And then I thought, but they put the run of show to open up with the Black Panther and end with Al Roker. But we're here to not talk about me, but to talk about the children of Colorado. You know, it wasn't that long ago that the best science we had on brain research told us, I got your attention, told us that children's brains made about 700 to 1,000 neural connections every second. Think about that. 700 to 1,000 brain connections every second for young children. Except now, today, the latest research tells us that we were woefully underestimating those neural connections. It's more than 1 million contacts that are going on in children's brains every second. Those neural connections, when done right, lay the foundation for success for all of us throughout our entire lifetime. We have that same brain research tells us that children who have been exposed consistently to high-quality early learning environments do so much better in life than children who don't have that experience. As a matter of fact, there's also research, the Adverse Childhood Experiences, I always forget the A. Adverse Childhood Experiences study that was done several years ago, Dr. Shankoff, you mentioned about toxic stress, tells us that the opposite is also true. That children who are exposed to stressful, traumatic, toxic environments experience physical and emotional health problems throughout their entire lifetime. It is in our interest for every child in Colorado to have as many positive adult relationships and to be exposed to as many high-quality early learning environments throughout their early years in life. And that's what we've been working on over the last 7 years at the Colorado Department of Human Services. Now, early learning environments can happen anywhere. They happen at home, right? They happen at grandma's house, hopefully, or grandpa's house, or relatives. They happen at the next door neighbors. They happen at school and in early childhood settings like childcare programs. It's our responsibility to find ways that we can lift up and give kids the opportunity in those environments to have the best chance possible. These early learning environments can also happen in little mobile buses that go from community to community and help kids learn. Now, over the past 7 years at CDHS, the Colorado Department of Human Services, we've embraced a philosophy of a two-generation approach to helping families overcome poverty. It's our belief that if we can make investments in families simultaneously, investments in parents who need an education, need post-secondary supports, need a pathway to a good-paying job. At the exact same time, we are making investments in their young children by exposing them to more early learning high-quality early learning opportunities, we have the best chance of lifting that family out of poverty in this generation and sustaining them in the middle class for the next generation. And I have to say that we have been so grateful to our partners at the Aspen Institute and their Ascend program for their great leadership and support in our 2-gen efforts. Now, we know also that the only pathway, aside from winning the Colorado lottery, the only pathway to move from poverty into the middle class is one through a good-paying job. But in order for parents to have and sustain a good working job, we have to make certain that their children have a safe, healthy, and nurturing place to go while their parents are at work. Over the last 100 years or so in the United States, we've developed a child care industry to help with this situation. We believe child care is in a critical work support for working parents. But we also have 50 years of research now, 50 years, that tell us that kids, particularly kids from low-income families, who attend a high-quality child care program, whether it's a family-based program or a center-based program, high quality meaning we have a trained teacher in a classroom that's using a consistent curriculum, that there's physical activities, that there's exposure to all kinds of letters, shapes, numbers, music, dancing, nutritious meals, that all of these things together make a critical difference for kids. Kids who have that opportunity, less likely to experience child abuse and neglect, less likely to be involved in the criminal justice system, either as juveniles or as adults, more likely to be ready for kindergarten, more likely to read at an advanced or proficient level in 3rd grade, more likely to graduate from high school, more likely to go on to college, and more likely to have a higher paying job as an adult than those who have not had that opportunity. Again, it's in Colorado's interest, our belief is, to get more kids in Colorado the opportunity to attend a high-quality child care center. A few years ago, we rolled out a quality rating and improvement system called Colorado Shines, 5-star rating system. Now, it's not just about going out and rating all child care providers, although every licensed child care provider in the state is automatically a part of Colorado Shine. But it's also about simultaneously making investments in those small businesses to improve the level of quality, particularly those child care centers who've expressed a desire, a business opportunity to serve our kids from the lowest income families in Colorado. The work that we've done through Colorado Shines through this effort has resulted in 60% of child care programs in our state being rated a level 2, 3, 4, or 5 in just the 4 years that we've had this program in place. And through great work through our legislature and policy changes, and I must mention Senator Schwartz is here. So good to see you. We worked together years ago when she was in the state Senate to change our child care assistance program. This is a financial assistance program for parents who are working but need a little extra support. We created incentives to pay providers more who were providing higher quality care. We created financial incentives so that parents would choose high quality child care so that they could, in exchange, they would pay a lower copay. We extended the opportunity for kids to be experiencing high-quality child care. The end result was when we started a few years ago, we had 24% of kids who were receiving CCAP participating in a level 3, 4, or 5 child care program in Colorado. Today, we're over 60% of kids in CCAP going to a level 3, 4, or 5, and we are well on our way to get to 70 or 80% of kids. That's the type of innovative change that's been going on, and while I'm proud of what we've accomplished in that regard, we still have more work to do. Childcare is expensive in Colorado. High-quality childcare is even more expensive. We have to figure out unique ways to develop high-quality childcare that's affordable and accessible to everybody. And it's not just what government can do. It's not just what parents can do as they choose childcare for their kids. It's about what all of us can do to contribute. From counties to early childhood councils to faith-based organizations, our philanthropic partners, employers, all of us need to come together to create new opportunities for kids to get access to the best quality care and the best early learning environments throughout their childhood to give them the best shot to be ready for kindergarten. Which brings us to two very innovative programs that are happening right here in the Roaring Fork Valley. Gus the Bus, that I believe is outside. So if you've not had a chance, please on your way out, go out and visit Gus the Bus. That is sponsored by the Aspen Community Foundation. And it's a good partner down the road through the Valley Settlement Project called El Busesito, which is another, both of which are mobile classrooms. Because we can't just ask parents to pick up their kids and come to us. Sometimes we have to create the solutions and bring it to parents. And this is one of those really cool ways, both of these programs, that community found solutions that pushed us in state government to get our act together to do the right thing. Because we didn't have a licensing category for mobile school buses for young kids. And so ACF came to us, the fire department, health department, other partners, and said, we want to do this, but you guys are in the way. Well, sadly, we still don't have a licensing category, but what we were able to do was waive unnecessary regulations that get in the way of innovation and solutions to make certain that both of these programs can be up and running, and we're proud that we did that and look to see it not only continue in the Roaring Fork Valley, but to expand throughout the state. Now, I'd love to go on and tell you about why these two programs are so critically important. But they told me, I thought they said when they asked me to speak, we'd like you to do 45 minutes. And then when I talked to them yesterday, they said, no, 4 to 5 minutes. Anyhow, I'd really like to invite up two parents who have had their children participate in the El Busesito program and the director of the El Busesito program. If you would come up to the stage and join me, and I will ask them to tell you about why this program is so successful. Please come up. Oh my goodness, we have more parents. This is fantastic. Amber, where's Amber? And Kamira? Come on up here, join the party. Okay, so here's how this works. These folks are with El Busesito, which is through the Valley Settlement Project. And these folks are with Gus the Bus, which is the Preschool on Wheels program. Come over here. You want to come over on this side?
Okay. On this side?
You sit wherever you want to sit. I forgot. Yeah, I'm the one that's got to be flexible. Now, as they're getting settled, I want you to think about this. For those of you who are a little bit older, take Phil Donahue, match it with Oprah Winfrey. This is what we're going to do. Hey, y'all, you forgot to leave a chair for me. How are you? I'm going to turn it on. Okay, you are? You're Kamara. Amber. Awesome. Well, I didn't get a chance to meet them, so we're going to learn together about their experiences about Gus the Bus. And whose children are these two?
That's my son, and his name is Daxton.
Shh, talk in the microphone.
That's my son, and his name is Daxton Trent.
Daxton. Nice to meet you, Daxton. Okay, we'll share. Daxton. Okay, and great. And tell us about which children, were both children in Gus the Bus? Okay, tell us about it.
Well, this is Amber, and what's your daughter's name?
Violet.
Violet. Okay. So they were in two different classes. Daxton went Monday and Tuesday up by Highland Elementary in Rifle. And Gus the Bus was like the alternative for preschool at our elementary schools. So it was another opportunity for them to get and have the tools available to them when they couldn't get enrolled at the elementary schools for their preschool programs, because my son did not meet the cutoff for the preschool age.
What was the barrier to your son's cutoff, and how did Gus the Bus solve that problem?
Well, I don't, that was over a year ago, so I don't necessarily remember. But the ladies up my daughter attended the preschool at Grand Mesa, and when I went to them about Daxton, they were like, he's not old enough, and they tend to help kids with special needs first up at the elementary school with their preschool. So she was like, but I know Logan Hood from Gus the Bus and the Sunshine Bus, and I think that Gus the Bus would be a great alternative for him. So.
Excellent. And Amber, thank you for being here. And is Violet in Gus the Bus now?
No, she was in it. Oh, she was in it last year.
And tell us about that experience.
Same thing, the cutoff, and I actually remember the dates perfectly because her preschool wouldn't let her in because she had to be 3 by August 15th, and she was 3 August 21st. So she was too smart to stay home, and I can only do so much. You say hi?
Hi.
And she's an only child, so I wanted her to get used to being around other kids before, she got the big push into kindergarten.
Sure. How did Gus the Bus work? How did it come to you rather than you coming to the preschool program?
So in our area, last year, they've made a few changes this year, but last year they came to 3 different locations in Rifle 4 days a week. So they went to 3 different parks in the Rifle area, and you still kind of had to go to them, but they were making it possible for your child to still be able to attend school and not have to stay home or travel or whatever it was that you maybe had to do.
And I actually live in Battlement Mesa, so I had to drive a little bit to get to Rifle. Okay. And so it was nice, though, because I got to go shopping for a couple hours, kid-free. And I mean, if any of you have gone to the grocery store with a toddler, it's a good time. Anyway, so I got to do that, or sometimes I would get my hair cut, or sometimes I would go to the library and read.
This is awesome. And you can see why it's so important for parents to be able to go shopping by themselves. That's great. What is one thing that you think this audience needs to know about why this program is so important to you and to parents like you and to your children?
I have more than one. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. The biggest one is it fundamentally helps them in every aspect of their life. Growth, learning how to interact with others. He knows how to write his name. He's not even 5 yet. He knows how to write his name. He knows all the colors. He knows the alphabet. He knows how to count. Miss Kim and Miss Liz have been absolutely amazing teachers. And I fully believe, I wish that I would have known about Gus the Bus with my other children, because I absolutely would have had them enrolled before they hit kindergarten.
I also had like a whole list, but one of the things that I really liked was on school days, we have every night we sit down to dinner as a family and, hey honey, how was your day and how was your day? And she was so proud to tell us about her day because she could bring something to the table. I learned shapes, I learned about trees, I learned how to write VV, and the confidence it gave her was just very, very, I was so proud.
Excellent. Well, I'm so pleased that Amber and Camara, I don't know why that's so difficult for me. It's a lovely name. Yeah. That Amber and Camara have joined us to tell their stories and their children's experiences, but I'm especially impressed with the 2 kids who are up here, so well behaved. So let's hear it for them as I wander down. All right. So right next to me we have Isis. And Isis is a mother to Luis, who is now 7, but he was in the El Busesito program a while ago, right? And next to her is Faraday, who's the big boss director of the El Busesito program. And on the other end is Judith, who is the mother to Andrew, who now is 9 and participated in the program a few years ago, correct? Awesome. So I'm going to start with you, Isis, because you are right here. Tell us how the El Busesito program worked for you.
The Busesito program worked very good for me because I had my son at home not doing anything, and I heard about it through a friend, and she told me that she was taking her daughter, and at first she told me that they would just go and play inside the bus, and when I went with her daughter to see it, I saw that they had 2 teachers, only 8 kids, and they were playing, interacting with them, and I liked it, so I wanted my son to be part of it, and I enrolled him. I got one of the teachers came to my house to do a registration, and I got to meet her before I took my son into the program, and that's how it kind of just started, and it worked out because at the time I wasn't driving, and they would park near in different locations. They had like 7 locations, I think. And I would ride the bus and drop my son off, and then I would go walk around for a little bit, and by the time I was done walking, he was done with school.
That's awesome. And tell us, Luis must be going into 1st grade now?
2nd grade.
2nd grade already. He's getting to
Yeah.
be a big boy. What do you think his experience was like in kindergarten because of his time with El Busesito?
He went into kindergarten very prepared, very excited, and at first, his first week of school, I got a call from one of the teachers or counselors, and they were telling me that they wanted to meet with me because something had happened with my son, and I went to talk to them, and they told me that they did a test for him and that he was completely good to go.
Hey, what a relief, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
How long do children actually participate each day or throughout the week in the El Busesito program?
So right now we have 4 different classes. Tuesdays, Thursdays are the same kids, and we have a morning class that runs from 9 in the morning till 11:30, and then the other one is from 12:30 to 3. And then on Wednesdays and Fridays we see the same kids, and it's in the morning and then it's in the afternoon as well. And what did you say?
No, that's excellent. And do you think that's enough time for kids to benefit from that experience?
Yeah, I actually think it's great because it's 2 teachers and it's only 8 kids, so they really get a one-on-one. And we do everything. Right now, I'm a teacher at El Busesito. I was a mom there, and now I'm teaching other kids. And so they have free play, and then they interact with each other. We do math, literacy, and then lots of group activities.
Awesome. Thank you, Isis. Judith, how are you?
Good, but I speak Spanish only, so probably they can help me to translate.
Thank God for Faraday, because I speak English only. This will work good for us. So you have a 9-year-old son, but Andrew, right? And Andrew was in the program a few years ago. What was your experience like as a mom with your child going to this center? Did it have any impact on your whole family or just on Andrew?
No. Yo creo que fue la familia. Yo vivo en sigo viviendo en CMC, enfrente del colegio. Entonces, yo tenía 4 años que había llegado aquí a Colorado. Entonces, no sabía muy bien acerca del Preschool, y mi niño también cumplía 5 años en octubre 15. Entonces, no manejaba, no sabía dónde llevar a mi niño a Preschool, y saber que el Busesito iba a manejar hasta mi casa fue una muy buena oportunidad para mi niño. Siento mucho.
She had moved to Colorado 4 years before. She lives kind of in a isolated area, if you could say. She didn't know a lot about preschools or where they were, how to enroll her child. She learned that her child also didn't meet the cutoff for kindergarten. His birthday is October 15th. You have to be 5 by October 1st. So he was going to stay home as a 5-year-old. So when she learned that the Busesito came to her, she could just walk there, drop off her child. it really impacted her whole family.
Excellent. I thought I heard something about CMC in there. Was that right?
Yeah, so she lives in front of the CMC campus, up Spring Valley campus.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it. Another question. Oh, I'm on the wrong side here, Judith. I apologize. Tell me about Andrew and his experience in going into kindergarten, and how did he do?
Yo pude estar de voluntaria con la maestra que él estaba y pude ver la diferencia de niños que solo están en casa sin un preschool, que no sabían las vocales, los colores, los números, y en el Busesito crean rutinas, algo que los prepara para cuando ellos llegan a kindergarten. So él estaba listo y preparado, a diferencia de otros niños que no sabían muy bien el inglés porque no lo hablamos en casa. Fue muy fácil la transición.
She was able to volunteer in Andrew's classroom. He was in kindergarten, and she could see the difference in kids who had gone to preschool and kids who hadn't. They knew their letters, their vowels, colors, and also on El Busesito, we work on routines, so he was able to follow a routine once he was in the kindergarten classroom, so it was an easy transition.
Faraday, thank you. We are just about out of time, Faraday, but I'd love to hear, as a director of El Busesito, your program isn't focused just on the kids, correct? Is there also a parent element? Could you tell us about
Yeah,
that?
so Valley Settlement is all about dual generation approach, so we work a lot with parents and their children. We try to involve parents as much as we can. We send home books for them to read at home every night, as well as homework, home activities that parents can learn how to work with their kids on colors, letters, things like that. And we also have very fun, interactive family nights where all families come together and we work on different projects. And it's really about teaching parents how to have fun with their kids and learn at the same time.
And the hidden sauce is it builds community all at the same time.
Yeah.
These ladies have been extraordinarily brave to sit up here and speak to all of you, and even more brave to have allowed me to ask them questions. So please give them a very warm welcome of appreciation. Thank you all very, very much.